All right, welcome back, everyone, to another session of the World of Horen. Thanks for joining us this week. Very sorry about what happened last week. Hope it won't happen again, but I'm not making any promises. So, before we jump into our adventure, quick few things by way of announcements, details to make you all aware is, please, as a reminder, go ahead and hit that follow button, subscribe if you're blessed enough to be able to afford such a thing. Follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Do all of the follows and the links and everything. Make us your entire world. We love you and we want you to be with us and help us. But to help you all with that, to help you show your love for this stream, we now have a t-shirt shop. So down there in the Twitch channel area, Twitch description stuff, you'll see a link towards a shop where you can buy awesome t-shirts, mugs, sweaters, baby onesies. I've got myself a t-shirt and a mug on the way. I know that Casey's already got a t-shirt. It's great stuff, and on the front of it, nice big image of the Dragacorn, courtesy of our very own wonderful artist, Casey. So go ahead and click on those links, buy those awesome products, and let us know. Tweet us a picture of you using it. For every picture of you viewers that I see tweeted, I'll give these guys an opportunity to re-roll something. Okay, so send us those pictures. Now, jumping into the adventure at hand. Our heroes have spent some time, a day or so, in Piercrest, a small fishing village that doesn't really have any lore to it, but doesn't really seem to have any crime associated either. Everyone just focused on their own business. Nothing untoward has been happening at all, right, guys? You guys haven't gotten yourselves in a fight between
Nothing.
light and dark? No. So, having caught in the crosshairs between two warring monk tribes, the Radiant Soul monks and the Shadow monks, our heroes have discovered a little bit more about the world, that light and dark are actually entities of some particular sort or form. There are draconic creatures that seem to embody shadow and light, and they are leading these opposing monk forms. Last session, our very own Cecil had a bit of a one-on-one with the Sun Soul monk Roab, and Cecil won. Very well done. Won, yeah.
It's not a win in my book.
No. But today, he has cleverly managed to arrange a one-on-one with the supposed leader of the Shadow Monks. So, get to go and experience them. The Shadow Monk leader, Ballora, is waiting, or rather, it has been arranged that he will meet Cecil at a certain location on the docks next to his ship at high noon the following day, after the events that had happened, which, if I remember rightly, last time we had played, it was after you had rested for the day and decided what you're going to do. So I'll take it over to you guys. Anything else you'd like to do in preparation for boarding or getting to Ballora's ship, the Margate?
Remember that gray grease I got a long time ago to maybe disguise myself and never did?
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's not walk into a whole group of shadow monks looking like me. That's all.
All right. So everyone in your party can see you making this effort to disguise yourself for the first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Elara?
Yes.
It is possible that we will be coming to fisticuffs with this Belara fellow, and it may fall upon me to strike a decisive blow. Would you mind if I were to borrow the ring that we were gifted by Roab I will give it right back when we are finished, but just for this encounter, it might come in use for me.
Oh, of course. And she, you see, like, the ring doesn't quite fit solidly on her hand well because she's got the webbing, but she, like, takes it off, and it's a little moist as she hands it to you, but...
I think, and I do have something for you as well. When we were in this Citadel Haganebuto, it's a dwarven mountain stronghold far to the east. They gave us this kimono type looking thing that it is enchanted with a single use of protective magics, and I convey how to use the shield spell via the kimono, however that is done.
One-time use of a shield spell. Anyone can have it regardless of whether or not they can cast spells, and before the kimono loses its power.
What does it look like?
The kimonos are a dark fabric, usually a bit of a tint to red to them with golden trim. They all bear the symbol of Hagane Buto, the seal, emblazoned within the lapel, the chest area, and also on the back. And the symbol looks, to all of our viewers who probably can't see that handout that I've just popped up, looks like a mountain inside a circle with a series of mining shafts and lines connected underneath. Citadel Haganebuto represented in both of its original Upper Haganebuto and Lower Haganebuto forms on this one seal. They are present on there.
Thank you for this. As she holds it, she kind of like starts picking at like the little gold trim. It's more of just like shiny, but it's very nice.
I hope you do not need to use it, but it is there if you need to.
Is anyone else wearing their kimono right now? Just as a thought.
Not yet.
No.
No. Okay, fair enough. So.
And I believe that we all had competing ideas on how to deal with this Bellara fellow, and perhaps we were going to just talk with this man just to see his disposition, since we are of many minds and what to do. Does that sound agreeable?
I think we're gonna go there. We're gonna talk to him and figure out what's gonna happen.
I believe he is going to go after the light, the Lara's light, unless we stop him. And if he will not see reason, I think he will have to be stopped personally. And the advantage we have is they do think that Cecil here is the vessel of Tarakan. So we should use that to our advantage when we go in there. So I do not think we should go in just, let us see what happens. We have an idea that we really need to follow.
You know these people better than I do, but I agree we cannot let the light be threatened.
So I think we go in and we tell them as emissaries of the vessel of Tarakan, they must leave. And if they say no, we must make them.
Okay, so a couple of issues with that. One is that if you do want to give him a real chance for honesty, one of you would have to probably get him away from his men, because his men are obviously going to expect one specific kind of answer. And if he's alone, he may not feel pressed to provide that answer and say, no, I actually have been wanting out for a very long time. And then we would say, okay, well, we have a way to do that.
I doubt that. If he's the leader of these people.
Well, didn't we get all of his men to agree to leave it be? And they said, we'll leave it, but Belgara, I don't know about him.
That's true.
Some of them.
If you like, I can attempt to talk to him, and if it doesn't work, we'll just return to the deck of the ship and say, well, I tried.
I'm gonna turn around and like look at you and be like, are you actually? Is this? And I'm gonna look at Obi. Is like, this is her first time actually wanting to speak on our behalf. I always have to push her. I'm gonna like pretend to like wipe a tear. Like, oh, so beautiful.
Lara, ultimately, this is more important for you, the whole light thing. Do you have a thought?
I do not know the situation well with these monks, correct? But I think, and then she gestures to Thea, this landwalker has a good point that if he does not, if he wishes to have a change of heart, so to speak, that he won't do it openly.
Well, I will leave that to you. I'm not very good at talking to people.
I will admit,
In fact, why don't I just stay in the back with a hood up? No one needs to know I'm here.
I'm not a very good talker either, but I am a pretty good judge of character. So, I know how much this means, and I'll. If I'm sure, then I'll be sure. You know, if I'm not sure, then I'll say so. And then we'll fight, whatever.
See, as we trot along.
Okay. When you continue heading towards the Margate ship, you'll see it off to one side. The Margate is a large galley vessel, huge ship that's been docked off to the side. Next to it are a series of large warehouses, and built roughly out of bits of debris. Stood outside at the edge of the docks, you'll see that monk with the scraggly hair that you had seen previously, that had stopped and talked to Theo previously, who had bowed down and initiated the whole exchange with Cecil, that led you to believe that he believes Cecil is a vassal to Tarakan. He stood there, kind of guarding the way. He sees you all approach, and he hails you to just come forward.
On the way there, can I cast Enhance Ability on myself, knowing that I'm going to have to do some talking?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so which of you, well, he's kind of gesturing specifically towards Theo, since he had the conversation with Theo previously, and it's the best relationship he has out of all of you. So he gestures towards Theo. Hello.
Good evening. Ready?
Bellora is ready. Is he ready?
How's this gonna go? Are we all gonna come up and make sure we're all on the ship first, and then he's gonna come out?
Bellora has agreed to a fight one-on-one with the vassal, but he has not agreed for it to be on the ship. He has arranged one of the rooms next to the ship, where we will each of us, you and my men, stand around the outskirts of the walls of the warehouse, and he will engage in single combat with the champion. I swear to you, and he'll nod respectfully towards Cecil, that we will respect the wishes of Tarakan and the victory of this battle.
I'm gonna look at him and I will say, "Can we speak with Balara? Right? Right? Yes."
Belora.
Damn it! I was close. I was right the first time. Balara.
Laura looks like what?
No, that's just me. That's not Cecil. Balara. We wish to speak to him before anything. I want to know-
Specifically, I wish to speak with him alone, if he'll allow it. Could you go ask him, please?
It is hard for him to.
You should
be
definitely
willing
ask
to
him.
be-
You're, as far as I understand it, you're not him. You're underneath him. He needs to decide.
I will ask.
Thank you.
Please wait here.
I produce my familiar, Stripesies, and just stay in contact with him since we're going into a pre-prepared area. My intent is for Stripesies to be looking for invisible threats.
Fair enough. Okay. The monk will step away into side room. There'll be a moment or two before he'll come out, stretching a little bit as he walks over to you. Belora has agreed to a private audience with one of you on the condition that there be some form of
You need collateral?
collateral. Yes.
Here you go.
Should anything happen to Belora during this conversation, then the crew need to know that they can mete out similar justice to one of your crew. So if you are willing to give over one of your men into private custody with our crew, they will be safe so long as Belora is safe in the conversation with you.
So that's what I'm doing by coming on board and leaving my friends behind. I am your collateral. Here is my sword and here is my shield. Hang on to this until I return.
They won't accept you to be collateral because you could be the threat against Belora. There could be a trick.
I'm giving you my sword and my shield, though. Pat me down.
Magics are a thing in this world. I want to work with you, but there has to be either you agree to someone or something of importance to your group.
If me
gets
coming on
taken.
board without my sword and shield doesn't work because magic, then why does someone else coming on board work because magic?
Because that someone else will be guarded by 5 individuals that hopefully should be able to deal with one spell thrower.
I'm gonna just walk up and just tell him that I will be the collateral. They can take me.
Very well. Please, both of you, follow me.
Keep my sword and my shield.
And keep it.
As we walk, I'm gonna just pat the professor doctor on the back.
You'll move along the dock, the walkway. The wind is creaking through the docks right now and giving everything a bit of an airy, a dark feel. The offshoot of the water and the waves around here do spray everything, giving you just that cool feeling. The warehouse door open wide, large enough to fit a vehicle through it. Inside is a small crew of monks, all stood in the four corners of the warehouse, and this dark elven individual clad in just black robes, black, what appears to be very tight-fitting robes, standing in the middle. As you approach, the four monks will walk to stand surrounding Cecil, while Ballora goes to approach Theo.
I've been told that I'm to have a discussion with you. May I introduce myself, my lady? I am Ballora Delgar.
Well met. My name is the doctor. That's what I was going with today.
The doctor. Let us retire to my chambers to discuss things privately.
And so he'll just start walking off towards his ship, up the gangplank into down below deck, and just expect you to be walking behind him.
Take care of yourself, Cecil.
How close are we allowed to be to this warehouse?
They didn't necessarily tell you how close to be, but you're about 40 feet away from the entrance.
All right.
So, on his ship, in his captain's quarters, you can see a very lavish lifestyle. Huge four-poster bed, curtains that seem to be made out of a very fine silk, spider silk fits. His room is covered in all sorts of trophies and hunting mounted animals, all up along the walls. Maps of the areas around here with all of his work and papers on the table. He invites you to take a seat in a very large leather plush comfortable chair that seems to just sink underneath his weight as he drops in. He kicks his legs up over the arm of the chair. He's obviously getting very relaxed with you in front of him.
Please.
How long is this guy's hair?
It's in a ponytail right now, so it's mostly bald, but he does actually have a ponytail still, and that does cascade down to about halfway down his back. So it's clear that everything has been shaved except the ponytail.
It's intentional?
It's intentional.
Okay, all right. And what color are his eyes?
White.
Just totally white? Does he have pupils?
White. Well, yes, he's got pupils, but it looks like someone's almost like someone has put white contact lenses over the eyes, so you can still see the outlines of where everything should be, and there's faint shoots of grey within the iris. But yes, white eyes.
Interesting. Okay, I'll sit down next to him. I'll look around and ask, are we able to be heard from here? Are we safe?
We are safe. My private quarters are my own. No one can hear us in here. Or as they say, in my room, no one can hear you scream.
That doesn't set a good mood right now. You're not being, don't say that. Okay, we're going to pretend that didn't happen.
How can I help you?
Okay, well, here's the thing. How much do you know about your master, this Terracon? Like, have you ever spoken to him? To what degree are you loyal?
I heard his voice calling me from the void, calling me out from the depths closest to death, and he showed me the way.
And would you give your life for him?
100%. His desires are pure.
Is there any... Is there anything more pure than his desires, or something that you would want even more than his, attention?
What could matter more to a person than pleasing their god?
I know a lot of people who like food. I know some other people who like drink, and some people like soft things. It's really up to you what you choose to put meaning in. Gods are one of those things.
This time, my lifespan, though I live a few of most other creatures' lifetimes, I know that this life is but a sliver of time compared to the eternal rest I will have with Tarakan.
Okay.
Giving over my faith for worldly desires seems hardly worth that price.
So, well, that's debatable, but I get you. I get where you're coming from. So, the way that I understand it, I've learned since falling in with this crowd that Tarakan has a brother, or a twin. Is it a brother or a twin?
A twin.
And it's a similar being, but created more from light than shadow.
Yes. Like most siblings, they've been in an eternal war. One not being able to gain the upper hand over the other, and children being thrown away in the battle.
Now, all of your own experiences aside, because we're talking about the greater forces of the universe here, we can both agree that this tussle that they've been locked in for ages serves as a balance between light and dark. It's these are facts, right?
Yes.
So, do you know what would happen or do you have like an inkling, a sensation, a feeling of what would happen if one gained out over the other?
What I have been taught, and what I believe to be true, is that should the light that is in this world be snuffed out, that Cameron will lose his power and become nothing more than a simple worm. A worm which can be snuffed out like that of the light of a candle. Doing so would give Tarakan total clarity in his role and dominion over his situation. But I do not know much more than that. I believe that shadow will prevail. I do not think it will snuff out the light that is in the sky. I do not think that all that is light and good in the world will be gone, for this is just a spark of light. It's not the pure essence of light. I just want to tip the scales a little.
Right, you want to tip the scales. And I'm thinking maybe you're not entirely 100% on the consequences of that kind of thing. How you just need a little bit of a grain of sand to unbalance what was balanced, and then the whole cosmos are thrown out of whack. And I just, do you want the destruction of the world? I know it's a little bit of a hop, but it's a very slippery slope from right here and right now to utter oblivion and entropy. And I came to ask you in privacy if you wanted to help me attempt to maintain the balance. We wouldn't tell your men. We would do something else entirely. It's a little bit of a trick. But I gotta know where your intentions lie. I need to know if you want to be saved from this situation before I go about telling you how I'm gonna save you.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage because of your enhanced ability.
15 with advantage.
I'm curious to learn what your plan would be, and I'd like to know how you know that I'm wrong, and how you know that doing what I plan will end the world.
I don't have any proof. There's this thing that happened. I had a bit of a vision that kind of prophesized the coming of forces. I don't know what else to call them presently, but there's something that's about to happen. The world is stirring, and I think we're witnessing the beginnings of it, and what we decide now will sort of set the field for what is to come. And I would very much rather have allies than enemies in this.
He takes his feet off the arm of the chair, sits up properly, and leans forward towards you.
You've had a vision. Tell me, what did you see?
Creatures, entities along the horizon. There were earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes. The sky was split. The stars were falling. Apocalypse stuff.
Who did you say you were again?
They call me the doctor.
The doctor. I would so love to know who gave you this vision. You speak of something I have been similarly shown by Taraken. He told me of a cycle, a cyclical round, where the world goes through a change each time it happens, and each cycle involves entities of great power descending upon the world. Those entities live amongst its people for a time, and then rise up to greater standing above. It is that cycle that Taraken wants to prepare for. He wants to make sure that when it happens, he controls the darkness. I'm curious as to your story, but perhaps that will be another time.
Well, I'm on the side of the little ones living on the face of the world.
Oh,
I'm on our
absolutely.
side.
And like the cycles have happened before, I do not believe this will end the world, but give it a new direction. Give it new cause.
Well, if things tip towards darkness and entropy, then you're going to get more of that. Do you want that? Do you want these nice things in the world to go away? Get swallowed up? I was going to suggest, if you wanted to come over to our side and just keep the balance, maintain it, help us maintain it, then we could potentially fake your death. But you'd have to promise me, and I will know if you're lying, you would have to promise me that you would forget the spark.
I find you
very compelling, Doctor. I want to agree. I find myself in a quandary of knowing that should I do so, I would displease my lord. I would like, if I do this for you, if I shift my sights to the balance rather than towards the darkness, there must be something that I can offer my lord as a bounty for my life. Would you be willing to help me find something that was lost?
Like what?
Lost teachings, messages, books and papers.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Knowledge of the arts of the shadow that was stolen a long time ago. They are one of the chief things that the Order of Shadow once reclaimed.
Okay.
If I fail at this task, I must succeed at another, lest my soul is rent apart before your very eyes.
You can do that.
That's what I believe he can do.
We need to get you to Oakwell into witness protection. Well, I love lost information. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that.
Good.
Where would you, well, okay, first off, where would we start with that sort of thing?
I'm looking for a person. A tabaxi thief.
Okay, go on. Where did they disappear from?
Right now, I don't quite have all the information at hand, and we've not made the deal proper yet. But I can get the information that we have about the thief, the poison that courses through his veins, how we could use it to track him.
Okay.
Should we get close enough?
We don't need to do anything with the thief, right? You just want the information? If I brought you the scrolls, you'd be good? Okay.
Well, if we found the thief, he would have to pay for his crimes, would he not?
Well, see, here's the thing. We're doing all this so that nobody has to die.
No one has to die. Criminals must be punished.
So, give him a love tap and send him on his way. Sound good?
Time spent in service would equate to pay back what he caused to be lost.
What if you killed him and then I brought him back immediately? It'd be like square one.
Life is such a toy to you, isn't it?
Not at all. That's why I'm going through all this effort and these hoops. There's so much effort.
What do you propose?
So I need to put you in a stasis, in a death-like stasis. I don't know how we get you away from your fellows. Maybe we can do it to where, let's see. She pulls out her notes real quick and she looks up what she wrote down earlier in the day and she says, "Okay, all right. I think all I need to do is touch you and I can put you in this state. So maybe we can get Cecil during the combat to stab you, but not really stab you. And then I'll touch you. And then you'll collapse. And then we'll pick you up. And then we'll be off with you. And we'll keep you in that stasis until the people that need to believe that you're dead believe you're dead. And you should be in a good position. You're not going to feel anything that happens to you. You're going to be completely out. And if anything untoward happens, then I can bring you back.
Okay, let me get this straight. We will continue with the match with your so-called vassal, which I'm very intrigued because I know that he's not a vassal, but we'll have this match. He will win. When he takes me down, I will not die, but instead be saved by your hand. My people will see that you and yours won and leave.
More or less. That sounds like the solid plan to me.
Roll one more persuasion check. With advantage again, still, because of your...
I got 10. Dang
in
it.
total,
Yeah.
10. Okay.
The other roll was a 7.
Very well. This sounds perfect. Sounds like it will be for the betterment of all people.
I hope so. Can I check and see if he's really gonna play along?
Would you like to roll an insight check?
I would.
Okay. Your enhance ability doesn't improve your insight, does it?
No, it's just charisma right now.
Okay.
I got a nat 20 anyways, though. Hey.
Okay. So, natural 20 doesn't usually give you automatic success, but he can't beat that with his deception. So I'm not even going to bother rolling. It seems like he's not swayed.
Okay. I'm gonna try to hide my disappointment and just be like, okay, cool, great. It's gonna be great working with you. I'm really excited about this.
Pleasure doing business with you, Doctor. Of Oakwell, you said?
That's where I study, but you know, I'm around.
Okay.
And then he'll stand up and invite you to leave his captain's quarters and back down the gangplank towards the warehouse, where he's rubbing his hands. He's kind of bouncing on the spot like a boxer might be as he's preparing for a fight. As he charges in to the warehouse, the soldiers around step away from Cecil, and he nods to Cecil. Go, vassal. Prepare your people. We'll have that one-on-one after all. And he'll give you a really big wink, like...
I'm gonna snarl, like just stare at him, just like... and I'm gonna grab Theo, and I'm gonna pull her aside, and I'm going to whisper to her as we walk out, what did you do?
Wait till we're outside. I'll tell you when we get to everybody else. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. You're back to everyone else. You're away from the group.
Group huddle! Group huddle! Group huddle! Everybody. Laura, get in here. Okay, so here's what happened. And I'm gonna make sure that we're out of listening distance. Okay, so we had a really good talk, and I almost had him, and he seemed on the fence. And then at the very end, I lost him. So he's back to wanting to kill us and take the spark and stuff, for sure. He thinks, however, that he's fooled me into believing that he's going along with the feigned death plan. So I didn't tell him otherwise. So he thinks that he is pulling one over on us, but we're gonna actually pull one over on him.
Yes, we're gonna kill him.
Yes. We have to.
I'm gonna look at Palir and I'm gonna give him the sweep the leg sign.
So he thinks that we are going to try and use your medicine to make him fall asleep.
Yeah. What's gonna happen?
Which that feels a lot like, if that happened, that feels like getting dozy and sleepy, and it feels a lot like poison, right?
No, it should just feel like nothing, like you fall asleep instantly.
Oh, okay.
But we're not doing that.
I was going to say we could put some poison on the blade, and he would think, oh, this is just a normal part of it, but it turns out it's really poison.
I actually told him to fall towards my hand. So I'm not going to do what he
Okay.
thinks I'm going to do when I do that. And of course, whoever's fighting him, Pellier or Cecil, you don't have to hold back.
Now this is the plan. I was gonna be like,
So are you still wanting to watch Pellier do it, or do you want to take care of it?
as much as I wish I could be able to, I feel that the best person to do this is Pellier. Unless you have objections, Pellier.
No, I do not have objections. This is what I do.
Oh, my champion. I'm just gonna be like, golf claps.
Okay. So, the battle map is in front of you all. As you can see, the warehouse very crudely displayed in front with a representation, though not quite accurate, of Belora, ready and waiting. As Pellier enters into the hall, he looks confused. Turns
I enter
towards
with-
Cecil. What is this?
I had a revelation yesterday.
Oh, you did you?
I was told not to fight. And instead, my sword will be the one to fight you. And I point towards Pellier. My doctor talked to you earlier today. And I feel that I should let those that work under me, not under me, those that follow me, should take care of this.
So you received a vision that said you shouldn't fight, and that someone else should take your place?
Yeah, that's fine. If not, I would be happy to defeat you. But there is one that's stronger than me, and that is my sword,
Right.
my champion. I gave him a big wink, like just even way more exaggerated than he did.
Roll a deception check there. And he'll roll insight.
Ah, I got no.
Okay. He'll turn around to his those that are around him.
See, this so-called vassal is nothing but a coward. I will fight your sword under the same grounds that was agreed before. I win. You all leave. I'll continue my hunt for the spark. You win, and my people will leave. Let it be.
I walk up, and I am in the middle, and I sit, and I sit, I guess like Indian style, and I look at him. I am no coward. If my warrior loses, then kill me. But I will not let you talk to me that way. You sub, what is he, an elf, right? Sub elf.
Yeah.
And I spit near him.
Cowards talk. Warriors draw blades. Now I'd like to speak to a real warrior. So, fellow elven individual, let us make this quick. Let us be clean and honor ourselves in the field of battle. And he will bow towards you.
I will, put my hands on my hilts, and I will also bow courteously. Monsieur, I am Pellier de Winter. I am champion of Vermeils and victor of many fights like this. I wish to offer you another chance. You forsake the vessel of Terrakan. Your men see this. They will have no respect for you when you are defeated by my hands. I may not kill you. You will live with the shame of falling to the champion of Terrakan. I give you this one last chance.
He waves his hands in front of his chest, and you watch as it appears his robes are parting for a second, and the image of a black dragon's head reaches out from his chest, snaps for a second, then writhes back inside. I am the vassal of Tarakan, not this pretender. Draw your blades, champion. And we're going to roll for initiative. Now, if you will honor the one-on-one, no one else needs to roll.
I will honor that subject to changing my mind.
Woo, you got this.
Maybe we should roll initiative to cheer on our turn. Paler, he's our elf. If he can't do it, go sit on a shelf. I don't know.
An elf on a shelf? It's the wrong period of time.
It came to mind.
Horrible
Elf,
tradition.
Self.
Nobody puts Pelaire on a shelf.
Shelf.
Okay, so as he tells you to draw your weapons, that's when he also starts to kick off from the ground towards you. Now, to give you an idea of the atmosphere in here, everything is covered, and there is the only light is that which is just kind of breaking through rotten pieces of wood. So it's dim light in here right now. Obviously, you can change that, but it's dim light. Perfect place for him to be able to fight. He will charge straight forward for you. And yeah, you know what? We need something. We need... There we go. No, wrong one. There we go. Some battle music. All right, so running right towards you, you can see he's not wielding a weapon. Still not wielding a weapon. His fists begin to be wreathed in shadow, though, as he charges for a barrage of attacks.
I will react and use the ring to create sunlight and give him disadvantage on his attacks.
All right. So okay. The first strike from him is a 21 to hit at disadvantage.
That hits.
Okay. That will be 7 points of bludgeoning damage right into the lower ribs on the right side. Before attacking a second time, he will scream at the light that he's seeing in his eyes, and he's actually going to rage as a bonus action.
Ooh.
And I need to double check. Yes. He can't do it this time because it requires the first attack he does on a turn, but now that you know that he's kind of raging, he has other stuff that he could do. He is going to continue to keep hitting. So, at disadvantage again. Next attack is a 10 to hit.
This misses.
Okay, then he's used his bonus action to rage. That attack missed. Right, that will end his turn. What are you going to do, Pele?
I have one sword drawn, and I will begin flourishing it as I begin my blade dance, or my blade song. And that is my bonus action. with my action, I will cast the blindness deafness spell on him, which is a DC 13 con save.
Okay. Which he succeeds.
Then I will action surge and cast Green Flame Blade and sheathe cover my silvered side sword in the green flames as I strike out at him.
Okay.
It's a 16 to hit.
A 16 will just about clip the side of him. That will hit.
It's for 8 piercing and 3 fire damage.
Okay, so 11 points of damage overall. Nice. It's a heavy strike. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Then, recklessly attacking, he will attack you with advantage, but the... did I give you a duration on that sunlight?
Until the beginning of his next turn.
Right, so he's no longer... so he's recklessly attacking you. He would have advantage.
I will use the ring again and give him disadvantage.
Okay, so it cancels out to be the same. Okay, and yeah. That first attack, that's a natural 20.
Sweet.
All right, so...
Doesn't the ring give him temp health, too? When he uses it, like one?
That's if it's on armor.
On
Oh,
armor.
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
So one thing that I do with all of the slices, all of these magic items, is they have different effects depending on what they're applied to. Okay, so for the damage, that will be... because he's... Yep, so 2d6. Because he's raging, it is an extra... 2, yeah. So... 14 points of bludgeoning damage, and he will use Stunning Strike on that, so I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw against being stunned.
There was no +5 there, but it was a natural 1, so a 6 total.
6, okay. As his fist hits you, this time he really focuses. He's recklessly attacking. You've affected him with his blindness. He just, with a lucky punch, manages to get you right underneath the belt, and it just sends a shiver straight through your entire body. You're now stunned. And as such, you are stunned until the end of his next turn. So the next attack's also at singular, because he's still got the disadvantage for the rest of his turn. So 20 to hit.
Hits.
Okay, that will be for 12 points of bludgeoning damage. He will then flurry of blows for 2 more attacks. 23 to hit.
Hits.
For 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And last attack is a 19 to hit.
Hits.
For 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm unconscious.
Okay. And he ends his turn looking at Cecil.
I'm gonna do golf claps.
So,
I'm gonna go stabilize Kalir.
and he'll step away, and before his turn ends, he'll kind of step back just chest open towards Cecil, who's still on the floor. Yeah, you go and help out Pelir. What are you guys doing? Pelir just lost.
I'm gonna get up and I'm going to before I'm gonna congratulate Valir, but wow, whatever his name is, and I'm gonna just say that I just want to check on Pelir, if that's
Okay.
fine. I'm gonna go check on Pelir. That's fine, right?
That's fine. We are going to end the initiative order right now. Give you guys.
I would
the
just
time.
like to make a stealth check and just kind of, while everyone's focusing on Pellier, just kind of step out of eyesight of everyone.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
18.
Okay. You think you're stealthy? You think you're hidden? What are you hiding behind? Some pillar
There are all these
or
pillars, right?
outside? Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of, quietly around a pillar.
Right. Theo, what do you do to Pelir to save him?
I'll go ahead and we have no time. I'll go ahead and spend a.
No, I got it. I'm going to use my which one is it? What's it called? It's that freaking thing. That Ashmars
hands?
have one health point that Ashmars have. I forgot what it was called. Healing hands. There you go. And I restore 6 hit points. And as I do that, I'm going to grab the ring from Talir, and I'm going to hold it, squeeze it in my hand. So you should be back with 6.
You fought well, Pelir the Winter. Thank you, everyone. That has proven so much to me. Now,
I
as
walk up
part of
towards
the
him.
deal, you will leave now.
The deal's not done. I walk up to him. You still need to kill me.
Very well.
I have the ring on, by the way.
Yep, the ring that requires attunement.
Aww. I didn't know that. Oh well.
It's a magical item. Half an hour to attune.
I was thinking of doing that after you raise the ring, and then it do nothing. So he invites you to drop down to your knees.
Real men get stabbed in the stomach.
Very well.
I'll shoot him in the neck from behind the pillar.
All right.
Black arrow out of nowhere. Does this count as surprise?
Make
I'm gonna be like this.
Make your attack roll before we really roll for initiative. Make your attack roll.
All right. Do I get advantage because I'm hidden?
Nope.
Sorry, I didn't hear if that was a nope or a yep.
Nope.
Nope, 15.
Okay. All right. So the shot goes and it misses.
You couldn't. What is this? What is this?
I shoot him again.
All right. So for that, everyone do roll for initiative.
Got 21.
I can't believe I got a nat 20 on the second roll. If only I'd hidden a little bit better.
Okay. All of his men will also get involved if you're all getting involved. So just gotta wait for Roll20 to upload. Here we go. All right. This is, yeah. So, as these attacks are happening, all of his people are kicking off. Belora is shouting betrayal and dishonor at you all. Cecil, what are you doing while Obi is firing shots at this guy?
Was Cecil within 5 feet when I shot at him? Not on the map, but I thought you were closer.
I'm like right here. I was waiting for him to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, my hands were outstretched when the first arrow came, and then when I saw it miss, I already grabbed everything because
you're also getting in the mode
I'm
to
ready,
attack
yeah.
as well.
I'm ready.
All right. Then, seeing that you're also being aggressive in this situation, one of his people will launch forward to attack you. You're at the ready. And so, let's pop this. Alright, so first attack against you will be a 7 to hit.
Misses. Thank God.
Okay.
That'll be a lot of damage.
Second attack will be a 16 to hit.
Misses.
Alright. And then that will end his their turn. Cecil, what do you do?
I am going to. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. I am going to use. Okay, I'm going to use one of my slow spell slots and say in Celestial, Resolve covered my blade and use Wrathful Smite, first level on it. So that's 1. I'm going to roll up and I'm going to strike at the boy, Belora. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
My long blade. 25 to hit.
That will hit.
10 plus 1d6. I have like mad stuff open. I'm sorry, guys. 6 for plus 2 damage, and I'm going to use a level 2 spell slot for a smite.
So an extra 3d8.
Yes, sir.
13 damage.
For 16 points of radiant damage.
So 28 points total.
Yep. And for the Wrathful Smite, he has to make a Wisdom saving throw or be frightened of me until the spell ends. So 16 is the DC. Wisdom 16.
Which he succeeds.
Okay. So that's the first attack. Next, I'm going to attack him again.
Okay.
For a 20 to hit, for 12 points of damage, and then use my last second spell slot for another 3d8. Divine Smite for 11 points of damage, so 23.
Great.
Do I still need to? Let me just check. Do I still use Wrathful Smite on this one or no?
No, it's just the first time you hit.
Okay, every new turn, or just the first time in general?
No, it's just the first time, and then the spell is over.
Okay, you got it. And so I end my turn.
All right. He drops down to one knee with that barrage of attacks. He is heavily wounded. Okay.
Oh,
anything else?
I see that. I see that.
Yeah, he drops down to one knee.
And I smile at him and I say to Tarragon, "You picked a shitty vessel." And I end my turn.
Theo, Doctor.
Is the dock so high that it looks like they would have some? Would it take more than one round for them to try to get back up, or are they so ninja that to me seems like an easy obstacle for them?
The water between the boat and the dock is quite a bit turbulent, with the nature of just the boat is almost constantly rocking the water there. So it means that water is particularly difficult to try and get out of. The other water that's elsewhere, that is fairly easy to get up and out onto the dock. It's only about a 5-foot climb. Okay.
Okay, so this area over here would be easy to get back up out of.
Correct.
Okay.
But the area between the dock and the boat, very difficult.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of. This is the lads' show, so I think I'm just gonna try to stand back and support. I will do one of these, zap down at Pillier to give him a little bit more health.
Okay. Then we'll move to...
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done?
Nope.
What else?
First I have to roll to heal him.
True.
And then after that... Let's see, I'll go ahead and use a level 2 slot on that. So 11 points of health to you. And the rule is, right, that you can do a first level spell slot or below, as well as another spell, right?
Yes, as long as the action is a cantrip. Bonus action can be first level or higher, but the action must be a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Which you did, a bonus action of a first level or higher spell. So if you're thinking of doing another spell as an action, that would have to be a cantrip.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'll just throw a Sacred Flame towards the monk that's next to Cecil.
Okay. Dexterity save from them. That is a failure. He will take 7 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
Okay. Now, anything else?
No.
Okay. Obsidian.
2 questions. 1, are there rafters to this thing? We have these poles, but what's the roof looking like?
It's mostly flat in here. It's broken pieces. It's debris.
So if I were to climb up the pole I'm behind, there's not like a perch on top I could hang out at?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, that resolves that. Second question, too.
I would say there's enough... there is enough broken portions of the roof that you could hold on easily with one hand with your claws and use your other hand, but you kind of need both hands to
shoot bows and
draw
arrows.
a bow. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to stand over here and shoot at the Balara again with my short bow.
Okay.
Which, if I hit the right button, because he's within 5 feet, I do get advantage, so it's 13. 5 feet.
You don't get advantage with an ally within 5 feet. You get sneak attack if there is an ally within 5 feet.
Well, either way, I miss. I'm quite certain.
Natural 1 is going to miss, yeah.
So what you haven't noticed, I've got a lot of gold. I'm actually encumbered right now. This is just throwing off. Just the weight on these pouches is just doing all sorts of problems. So I'll just walk back behind the other pillar here, and I'll just try to hide again as my bonus action.
Roll a stealth check.
29.
Okay. 18 seemed to fail you beforehand. 29 feels much more secure.
Right.
Just as a reminder, he saw you go behind the pillar.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. Anything else from you?
Nope. That's my turn.
All right. Right. We have a martial artist, a monk, that is going to rush up and actually try to... No, just going to punch. We're going to punch Cecil. That is an 8 to hit, so that's going to fail. Then an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, for 7 points of bludgeoning damage. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Let me just... Okay, and a con saving throw. 16 plus 5, so 21.
Okay. That'll definitely succeed. All right. Then that will. Yeah. Oh, I thought I heard something. Okay. We have another monk who is also intending on defending the leader. So, rush up, attack. 17 to hit Cecil.
Misses.
Okay, as that first shot goes wide, he's actually going to try to just knock you with the elbow. But that's a nat 1. Throws himself completely off balance and practically falls into you.
I catch him, and we look into each other's eyes. And I push him on the ground.
You lift him up in the air. Right. Pele. Currently prone.
I stand up. I dust myself off. I'll use a bonus action for Second Wind to get some hit points back. It's for 7 more hit points. And then with my movement, which I have 15 feet left, I will move up to be beside Cecil. And I'll try to cast blindness on the fella that is above him.
Okay.
13 con save.
That fella does not go blind.
Very well. I am finished with my turn.
Right. Struggling, and really struggling to hold on. Ballora stands up.
You do have some bite to you, but no honor whatsoever.
And then he will throw something on the ground. A cloud of smoke appears on his person, and he disappears. The cloud only fills the 5-foot space that he is in, but he's gone. We have another martial artist that will rush in to defend, but will actually run past Cecil towards Pele with a 21 to hit.
I will react with shield,
Okay.
so it makes it a miss.
Okay. And then a 24 to hit.
That hits through the shield.
Okay. For 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need you to roll a con save.
I am next to Cecil.
Okay.
It's a 30.
You succeed. Right. I've just realized that someone is missing from the turn order. Alara, what was your initiative?
It was 11.
It was 11. I do apologize that we missed you out.
That's okay.
Okay.
I believe that would have been before what's-his-face
That
disappeared.
would have been before he disappeared.
Hey,
So
come on. Let's go.
we'll
hey
pull
ho.
him back just for a moment. Give Alara an opportunity.
him.
What would Alara
Kill
like
him.
to do?
So what I had planned to do is you see Alara look down at her hands, and they start to glow this very azure blue, and the wind kind of picks up just a little bit. This strong smell of sea salt hangs in the air, and both this one and Ballora have to make dexterity saving throws.
We have an 18 from the fellow in the north, and
fellow in the north.
A 14 from Ballora. Does a 14 succeed?
I think my spell save is 14 exactly, so I can't remember.
Succeed.
It succeeds. Okay.
If it meets, it beats.
Okay. So what you see is this huge tidal wave crash into both of them. And it just kind of glances off of Cecil, but doesn't strike him. He just kind of gets like a little mist of seawater. But she does. Ooh, that's really good. So that'll be 13 points of bludgeoning damage that they take, because I halved it from.
They both succeeded,
Yep.
and 13 is the half damage.
Yes.
Okay. How does your tidal wave defeat Ballora?
You just see this swell of water just kind of emerge almost out of thin air, and striking him, you see just like little bursts of blue, kind of like water-looking energy strike his chest. And I imagine that he just kind of, where the monk in front of him stands their ground, Ballora just, like, he's struck and then collapses to the floor.
Okay.
And then the swell of the water just falls aside from him.
And there's a carp just flopping around on him.
There's a magic carp, like, magic carp.
All right. As Ballora drops and the water clears, it's clear that Ballora has fallen. Then the monks will all stop. They will stop fighting. You're welcome to continue to beat on them if you wish, but they seem to not be willing to fight back, seeing that their captain has fallen.
Ilara seems to... she stands taller, and she takes just a couple steps forward, and she says, "The sea has spoken. You will not touch the light this day."
I look at her and I'm just like...
And an arrow comes out of nowhere and sinks right into Ballara's chest.
Can I check Ballara to see like if that like dragon's still there? Probably not, but I just want to see. Or what is on this dude? I want to see, because this guy probably has some cool stuff.
So while you're reaching down to pat him down, his guys are also reaching down to carry his body away.
I'm going to activate my necrotic shell the moment they try to like touch it.
Roll an intimidation check with advantage.
Ooh. I got a 20.
Okay. They will back away.
I'm gonna look at them all, and I'm gonna say kneel. For this man is not. This man truly couldn't handle to be the vassal, as you can see.
They will kneel. You'll be able to pat him down to see what he has on his person. His clothing is very simple. They are robes similar to any sort of monk, but all dark, all painted in black cloth, but with a faint scent of cinder, always just seeming to emanate from them, like they were turned black through charcoal rather than through dyes. Roll an investigation check as you search over his person.
Okay. Can I ask you to help me?
You weren't asking Theo before you
That's fine.
went to reach down. Sorry.
I got a 17.
17, okay. The only thing you will find on his person is a small black bead. It is the size of a small pebble. Could fit easily into the palm of your hand, and could easily be palmed by someone or hidden away by someone fairly adept at sleight of hand. As you look at this bead, it looks like the inside of it is a swirling black mist with little streaks of white and grey that mix in, that give it the essence of being almost like a storm cloud contained within a small bubble. And that's all that you have. That's all that's on his person.
I will put this in my pocket and to show everybody later.
Okay. What do you guys do? Ballora is defeated.
Obi walks down, grabs Ballora just by the nape of his clothing, drags him over. Can I drag him down? How heavy is this guy? This is a very real question for me.
I'd say about 170 pounds.
With a -3 modifier, can I drag?
What is your total strength score?
My total strength score is 5.
You can carry 75 pounds.
Right, but I drag him. Just like, yeah.
Drag is twice that much, so you can drag 150 pounds.
Nope, I can't. I go and try to grab him, and I literally not strong enough to move him.
What you doing there, buddy?
The sea claimed him, and the sea ought to have him. So if any of you would mind throwing his body into the sea so he cannot be brought back, that would be great.
Okay.
What? No. No bodies in the sea.
While that happens, I'm just gonna chop his head off.
Also, doesn't Roab want to see the... Oh, okay.
It's like... And like, just spit in his face. Because it's still canon that he spit on my face, so I don't care. I'm gonna grab his head and I'm gonna throw it to Obi.
Obi steps away. He doesn't want it. He just sails right past him.
I'm just like, come on, man. And I like walk to get it.
All of the other monk individuals, they stand up and they start walking to the ship. They don't say a thing to any of you. They just start walking towards the ship.
I'm shaking the head.
Let us make ourselves scarce. Best not to linger.
Let's dispose of the head at least, somehow. I mean, they can like burn it or something, or just burn his body here.
So Roab didn't say anything about wanting to see his body as proof that he's dead.
Yeah, I will tell Rob he is dead.
Okay.
That will be good enough.
All right.
So, but let's go.
What are you doing?
I vote to burn the body before anything, just in case.
If you whatever you do, just do it quick.
I can't do that. That's why I'm asking. I need help.
What about feeding him to something, Ilara? Do you have any friends that are big enough?
I have many friends that would consume such a large creature, but his filth is not fit for them.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get a dinghy and give him a Viking funeral. There you go. Best of all worlds.
If you show that you are hesitant and not understanding, and like you don't know what to do with the body, is that something that you're actually showing visibly? You're arguing about what to do with the body.
I'm going to just take a torch and then just... No, wait, no, because
we're on a dock.
Yeah, I know, that's why I stopped myself. Don't worry, I'm not stupid.
Let us leave it and let us go.
I'm going to wrap... I'm going to get I have a blanket. I'm going to wrap the head, and I will take care of this. I will take care of the head. The body, whatever. They need the head to resurrect him if he needs to come back. So I will walk away.
Is that how that works?
I do not thing.
Is it? I don't know.
It is Horen. I think I can have any part.
I don't know magics, but yeah. I do not think that is how it works.
I'm just gonna grab the body. I'm just gonna walk around with it. I don't care. Let's go,
You
guys.
start
This is
walking around with
literally the worst possible idea.
Well, no matter what we do, it doesn't matter at this point. Because nobody else is giving me
Except that
idea.
you're going to be wandering through the streets with a headless body over your shoulder, bleeding all over the planks. You think that's not going to cause attention of some kind? You leave it here, we leave. Look, they're shadowy ninja people. They're all quiet and left. Let's follow their example.
All right. He comes back. We gotta...
Why don't we... I have an option. As long as you can tie the body up in a way where it will not bleed all over the place. Perhaps I can ask one of my sea friends to ferry it to a different location until we can dispose of it further.
His head got lopped off. I don't know if I can like stem the bleeding from the stuff.
Do you
in
have
the
a
neck.
bag to put over it?
Let me go to my cabinet. Yeah, my cabinet.
Does anybody have a trash bag?
Obi just sighs so heavily. Like there are nice things about groups of people, but you guys don't know how to deal with bodies like at all.
The way we deal with it is we just leave the body there, but we can't just leave this body here. Okay, this is a special body. If he comes back, he's gonna come back with a vengeance.
I sheath my sword, and I walk out with my head down, and I go look for Roab's ship.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Anybody have like a torch you can cauterize the...
I'm walking with them. If those two want to figure out a body,
Oh
that's
my
fine.
God.
But I'm leaving with the other two.
Oh, you guys are useless. I will do whatever she needs me to do to get this over with.
As you're cauterizing, she
Yes.
goes and kneels by the ocean and starts whispering. And I would imagine she's probably able to summon a larger creature like a shark or something to come to her.
To a degree, yes. We said before that obviously your people being very druidic, wild shape often, there is always a guardian nearby in some sort of guise, and in this case you would have a family member that would breach the surface in a familiar form of a shark.
Okay.
You would know and notice almost immediately that you're not summoning a beast of the sea. It's just it's another member of your family that has answered your call.
Okay. She leans down, and with like a very warm smile, she says, "Welcome, sister. We have defeated the threat against our light, but will you carry his corpse to an area where we can dispose of it later? I do not wish his filthy remains to have a final resting place within our home."
She'll do a little bit of a leap and a flip just off the surface, dip down underneath, and then you see her silhouette or a shadowy form glinting through the water, shoot straight towards the surface. She breaches, spraying the area with the salt water, and as she lands on the dock, has wild shaped back into her normal form. You have a fairly tall one of your sisters, perhaps, or sisters within the city. Tall, looks similar to you, but with a darker hue to her form, almost like you're the upper portion of the scene. She's more the deeper sections. Without saying much of anything, she begins to wave her long claw-like hands and fingernails across the edge of the dock, and as it digs grooves in, you watch as she's casting druidcraft over a period of time to try and create a somewhat of a basket of sorts to hold the body in.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen this kind of thing before. It's shaped in such a way that when she wild shapes back into the giant shark form, that she can effectively wear it as she carries it over the water where she needs to go.
Ilara places a hand on kind of the forefront. Is she a shark or?
No. So she's still in her elven form
she's okay
right now. It's going to take her some time to do enough druidcraft to make this basket, but you know exactly what she's doing and how she's doing it.
Okay. She looks up at Cecil and she's like, "You may bring the body this way."
And I carry it.
Sister, are you done with this now?
She looks. Who's still here?
It's
Just
me.
Cecil.
Not the greatest person to look towards.
She kind of like her brow furrows and she's like, I don't think this is quite finished. But once I find out some information, I will be able to tell you guys further.
Okay. Do return. We would like to make sure you are well.
And she looks towards Cecil.
If you put even one finger on her without her will, she will probably kill you. So,
I'll be fine. I got 4 lives.
And she, Ilara looks up and she goes, "I'm sure Belora thought he didn't have anything to fear from the sea folk as well." And with that, she gives her sister a kind smile and says, "Give Mother my love."
Of course. She'll finish up the crafting. She'll lean in for a hug, kiss Ilara on the forehead, and may the seas be kind where you go.
Yes, gentle waters guide your path.
And she'll shift, take the body, and start sailing off into the distance, off away farther than you can see, with a basket of a headless body just bobbing along the surface of the water.
The head is there on
Okay, so you put the head in your blanket. Yeah, inside the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't want to have that.
Fair enough. All right. So make sure you mark down. You're down 1 blanket. All right. We will.
So
yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna take the ring off and give it back to. I forgot your name. Wow, Ilara. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. It's like something I gotta work on. It's gonna get worse as I get older.
You're like, who are you?
No,
You
this
can
is
take
me, not Cecil. This is me. All right, so I give the ring back, and it's like, this is yours.
I do not need this, but I will take it if you do not want it.
I just give her a nod.
Okay.
So we'll jump back to everyone else, headed over towards Roab and his ship. Roab is busy getting the ship ready, and by getting the ship ready, it's telling Skipper to get the ship ready. He's hurriedly trying to make sure that all of the goods and the equipment are loaded up onto the small sailing vessel that they have. It's a little bit larger than the vessel that that you would come in on, but is a nice ship. He'll see you all approaching and call out to you. Are you ready to go? There's only 3 of you.
Make ready to sail. The job is done, and leaving is always expedient. Our other 2 will join us very shortly. So get ready to go. When they go, we need to leave. Because, no reason to stick around, right?
So he survived.
Oh, indeed. And our deal is complete. Bellara is dead. And though his monks survived, they left they traveled on their own. But that was not part of the deal, so off they go.
Headless creatures wander lost in the dark. All right. So
Sure.
the job has been done. Thank you, Opie. You've helped out another time. I am at your service, and I'm indebted to you.
Oh, I think that's what the money was for, but okay.
The money was for finding him. You found him.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Okay.
Well, I will hold you to that then.
All right. So,
Speaking of which, Pelir, this is really heavy. Like, clunk. A pouch that's really heavy.
if it's too heavy for you, Opie, I could.
Don't you freaking touch it.
Um,
This one
right.
likes to count, and this one likes to carry. So,
Fair enough. Skipper's getting the boat ready right now. We'll be ready to set sail within the hour. Hopefully your friends don't take too long.
that is the hope.
And where are you headed? Am I taking you back to...
Let's set sail and decide after that. I imagine back to Oakwell, but I do not know if anyone has unfinished business.
I wish to talk with my people.
So once you're there, if you explain that to Roab, he'll be very intrigued. And how would we communicate with your people?
We, and she kind of like raises an eyebrow, will not. I may take some with me.
Can't blame a guy for trying. All right, you give us directions. You'll tell us where we gotta go.
I will, so I'd actually like to just take like one or two people maybe, I think. Do you want us to like travel like kind of where they found me at, or I'm just thinking
As
of
long
the
as we get
topography.
away from the dock, we can go anywhere.
Yeah. Whatever you prefer as the way to get there. Granted, you guys don't have a easy way of breathing underwater for very long, do you?
I can fix that.
Yeah.
I think I have water breathing that I can cast. I'm not sure how long it lasts, so does anybody know offhand?
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay, so with that, if you can, as you can give them water breathing, they could survive the trip to go underwater. But obviously, the ship is going to move faster than our heroes will underwater without any sort of assistance to them, unless you were to also summon a bunch of sea creatures to then pull everyone through the water or something like that. The quickest way would be take the ship at least a little bit closer and then dive.
She looks up and she asks, which of you would like to accompany me? I can grant you passage and help it so that you may, and then she's like searching, breathe the water as I may.
I'm not generally a fan of water, but this sounds very exciting. So, count me in, I guess.
I am assuming one of you will want to wait with him. And she points at Rowan.
I mean, Roab owes us a favor. He could stay here for a little while. Wait for us.
Does Elara think that this is something Roab would do?
Roll an insight check as you're looking at him.
She just eyes him like, 19.
You get a sense that he's actually genuinely enamored by your village, by your people. There's a spark of almost a little bit of understanding here. You guys are protectors of the light, and he wants to kind of worship that. So you get you can see in his eyes a hope to be able to be involved, and you can trust that that hope would lead him to listen to you and do as you ask on this occasion.
Okay. We may take the boat, and then she pulls out like a little scroll, and she's got just a map of like the stars? Starshine.
Shy.
Shy. She pulls it out. She's like, we may go here, and then my people will help us the rest of the way.
Okay. Then pushing straight off, eager to get going, the boat begins to slowly leave the docks, putting Piercrest in your rear sail mirror. We're heading away, back in a northeastern direction, away from Piercrest, out into the open lake that is the sea. Go ahead.
When they arrive at the location she placed on the map, she selected a point that was a little off course, just so she's so protective of her home. She starts whispering into the sea, calling forth some of her people.
Okay. A small contingency of druids will shortly thereafter pop up to the surface. 3 of them in particular. They will come to the surface in humanoid form.
Okay.
Sister.
I need your help in escorting these people who assisted us in protecting the light to Mother. And she gathers up a little bit of ocean water in her hands, and she whispers something, and she looks at the rest of the party and then blows like air over the water towards in their direction. And then they all feel this sense of like something strange within their lungs, where now you have the capacity to breathe underwater.
The 3 sisters will slowly make their way towards the ship, and almost rising up, almost to the point of walking on the water themselves, just kicking the water just enough to keep themselves aloft. Each of them reaches out a hand to each of the men in the group. So each of these 3 female elves will reach out to escort you down below.
Alara looks at Theo. I am going to become a shark. Now, you may hold on to my fin if you wish.
My armor's pretty heavy. You think you can manage?
Well, speaking of which, maybe you should take that off before we jump into the water. I don't know how that works.
Mechanically speaking, there's no difference, no disadvantage made by wearing armor underwater, as long as you're proficient in the armor. Well, anyway, at all, but so she's fine.
I assure you I am strong enough to carry. It's a rather large shark.
Okay, thank you.
She gingerly descends into the sea, and you see her become this beautiful long shark, and it's got kind of across the eye, it has like this little it's like a symbol, but it's like a little swoosh that's mint like her hair, and she has it along both eyes, and she looks up and kind of does this like little head nod,
So you were all graceful and stuff. Conversely, Theodora just jumps off the ship, does one of these, and then belly flops, and then just starts to sink.
You see the shark kind of go. The shark dives down, and I come just up beneath and just gracefully lift her up so that she's able to grab my fin.
I grab on.
I'm hyperventilating.
Do any of Pelir, Obi, or Cecil have any sort of trepidations towards these young ladies taking you into the water? As they
this is
also...
the worst. As my feet get wet, it's like the shaking thing, and I want to do this, but it's just
I'm very scared of drowning because my father trained me to hold my breath in the water by making me drown several times as a child. But I am stepping up to the plate.
I am still somber from the defeat, but I am also excited about this once in a lifetime experience. So I proceed without fanfare.
As they take your hands, each of them shifts into into a shark form, but you're holding on to now the upper fin. Can't think of the dorsal fin. There we go. Up onto the dorsal fin. It just naturally you're now holding on to that. You can see that each of these three sisters have all along their back freckles, which shifted into that of more of a tiger shark-like pattern along their spines as they begin to dive, following Alara's direction deep into the ocean.
And they almost swim joyously too. This is their element. They're happy to swim together, especially
constantly kind of overlapping and playing. You're likely to get dizzy on the descent down, as just the descent is a whole new medium for most of you. Breathing underwater for an extended period of time, your vision is extremely limited. So it's almost like you're just descending into the darkness.
Oh,
and it lasts for a while.
I'll kick up that light guidance or that light cantrip, and make a makeshift fog lights.
So you're an angler shark now.
She's got the little thing that drops down to trick animals to come.
The lure. Yeah, I got a lure. It's my sword. It's the tip of my sword. There you go.
Fair enough. Leading the way and following the light, you'll descend for the better part of, I'd say about 2 hours under the water. Naturally, swimming for so long, you would expect to have to deal with the pressure of the water and temperature. But oddly enough, as you begin to descend down and keep going down, the temperature in this water doesn't change, or at least it doesn't feel like it's changing. The dancing and the motion of the sharks periodically will send one of you out a little ways, and you'll get a little feel of cold water moving past you. And then you return into what is a warm current leading down into the depths. After those 2 hours of journey, exhaustion seems to be setting in, or at least it feels like it as the sharks calm down. They slow themselves, and you'll see what looks like a single bubble down ahead of you as you're making your way towards Alara's underwater city. We will end today's session there. We will rejoin our adventure same time next week as we explore Alara's home turf under the sea. So thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. And just as a reminder, please, if you like what we do, please give us those likes and those follows. We really appreciate every single one of those. We like hearing the comments that you guys have about the show, and we do read them. So I'd like to turn the time over to Casey this time. Change it up a little bit. Casey, if you wouldn't mind.
I do not. I'm Casey, KCH on social media. If you liked what you saw of me here today, you can also catch me over on the Greyhawk channel on Fridays starting at 5 p.m. EST, right before Amber's show, which is awesome.
But it's not every week. Mine is.
Oh, okay. All right. And then on Sundays, I'm back here starting at 6 p.m. EST for Half Rate Heroes. And then back around on Tuesday mornings, starting at 9 a.m. EST. I'm doing City of the Gods, also on the Greyhawk channel. Oh, and I just want to say that, let's see, I have a couple notes. I wrote down some. I really appreciated the way that Obi was like, screw all this, we're losing, I'm going to take a shot. And then he started initiative, but just being like, I'm just going to do it. We appreciated that.
And added 0 to that fight. Not a single point of damage.
That was part of the interesting part there. That's only a D&D thing for sure.
Okay. And Amber?
You can find me on social media at Furore_D&D and also on the Greyhawk channel in Saltmarsh Stories. We just had our first game on the 7th and it was amazing. We got attacked by hordes of undead in a sunken ship. Our next session is actually July 5th. We only play, I think, 5 sessions total, and there's a big time jump at the end, or in between each one, so that will actually end at level 20, which will be really cool because I've never been level 20 before. Yeah, so the next one, July 5th, and that'll be a Friday. I enjoyed... I think actually like my favorite part is going to this underwater city because I have always loved lore like Atlantis and stuff like that. So the idea of actually traveling in D&D to this underwater city is really fascinating to me. And yeah.
Cool. I'll jump in and go next. You can follow me on here. I'm on this every week at this time. You can also watch our rebroadcast. I would also like to remind everyone to please jump in and watch the Half Rate Heroes games that features Carl and Casey present, and support everyone's other stuff that they do. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Teo the DM. And tonight, what I particularly enjoyed was Casey in particular. When building up this encounter, when building up this plan for a one-on-one battle, obviously there is desire for it to go one particular way, and the plan is that, okay, they're going to fight. Hearing that you wanted to try and talk him down and talk him into avoiding it, I got a little nervous that would mean, okay, there isn't going to be a fight. And that it would seem somewhat almost anticlimactic. But what I actually enjoyed was that your role play, what Casey did for her role play, was she created an alternative that was still very engaging. It involved the fight. It involved tricking the people, and it was a lot more than just, hey, like me, I like you, don't fight anymore. It was much better than that, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. So thank you, Casey, for that. I'm going to pass over to Carl.
I am Carl. I played Pelir here. I play Lafcadio on Sundays, same channel. That's the game, Half Rate Heroes with Casey and DM Jazzy Hands. That is Sunday nights at 6 Eastern. I was a fan of my total flop of the champion combat, just because of the expectation that the the champion is going to lay the smackdown, and then the smackdown was laid upon him instead. So foiling expectations is always fun, even when I am the butt of it. But I will pass it to Solomon.
Hey, what's up? I'm Solomon, obviously. I play Cecil, only Cecil, right now. But I will be in the future playing more stuff, and I had the opposite. Instead of something that I liked, is what I didn't like, and I didn't like that you lost because when I was when I was thinking from the previous session before we started, because we ended on the cliffhanger of I'm charging up to Rohab, and I was thinking, okay, so I'm gonna have this fight, and it looks like it's gonna be a 1v1 because nobody wants to really fight with me against Rohab, whatever his name is. And I was thinking, okay, so we already established this whole thing where I'm gonna fight with, you know, this dark elf dude, and I didn't really like that. I had a previous 1v1 and then another 1v1, and I wanted, you know, someone else to like be the champion, be the spotlight, and the only person perfect with the perfect lore and the perfect background for that is Valir, and that's why I was so adamant that it would be you, because it just felt right, and it probably feels right for you to I mean, you probably like it that you lost, but I'm just heartbroken because it's bullshit, but it's okay. You know, it was really awesome. It was really cool, and of course, you know, Theo, the way she tried to do her thing with the plan, and of course, probably my favorite part. I was actually going to strike at the guy, or at least like hold him, but I didn't have to do anything. So I was like outstretched in my head. Cecil was like, you know, you have to, you know, aim for the stomach, you know, and the arrow. I expected that maybe that was what's gonna happen, and I'm glad it did, because that's like his thing, you know. And I'm gonna pass it to Matt.
Yeah, that's it. I'm Matt. I play Obi here on this channel every Tuesday night, and then rebroadcast later in the week. What I enjoyed was that very obvious misdirection by the DM saying that a shady tabaxi stole a bunch of shadow stuff. I mean, clearly that's not important, and I appreciate that we throw that into the pot, so, you know, a little misdirection, because clearly that doesn't matter. And that's all.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun watching us. Join us next time. Good night.